Yes, good morning to everyone who are in the present, who are in person here, and also those online. Yeah, so we recite Guru Shakyamuni Buddha's name mantra together, and while reciting, refresh or renew your refuge practice in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And generate altruistic motivation for rest of our existence, in particularly for this life, for whole of the life, and whole of this year, this month, this very week, and this very day, this very moment, this very session to be most beneficial for your ultimate meaning and purpose of life, which is actualized freedom from entire oceans of samsaric existence, and actualize perfected state of liberation, which is state of Buddhahood for entire numberless sentient beings, ultimate benefit of enlightenment. So, so before refreshing the refuge, beneficial to visualize and have a conviction of it is absolute present of the refuge field. Guru Shakyamuni Buddha in the central, in the heart of the Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, then either Lama Tsongkhapa or any of the founding lineage guru of your different traditions. Here there may be practitioners from various traditions, Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya, Gelug, and you can visualize respectively. In the central of the an example, Lama Tsongkhapa, then your root guru, your immediate root guru. Then the around the right and left side of the Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, all the profound lineage masters. Start from your start from the lineage gurus of your immediate root guru. An example, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Then, such as like Lama Atisha, Lama Selingpa. In particularly today, today and tomorrow, we're going to go through the discourse on mind training teaching, lojong, which is the essence of the entire 84,000 teachings of the Dharma, essence of Tibetan Buddhist teachings in relation to all the traditions. More than that, the main theme of this lojong teaching is the essence of the essence of the Dharma, the altruistic Dharma, the practice of tonglen practice of taking and giving, practice of true altruism. So, which is the not just the essence of the entire teachings of the Buddha, but it is the also essence of the sutra and tantric teaching. And the lineage blessing that that up to yourself may channel without any limitations, without any break in the the channeling of the blessing, through this perfected, qualified Mahayanic lineage gurus. Start from your root guru, then then the Lama Atisha and Lama Selingpa, who possess the both lineage of profound and extensive lineage. Then, as a profound lineage, then Selingpa, then Shantideva, Nagarjuna, then Buddha Manjushri, extensive lineage, your root guru, then like His Holiness Dalai Lama, then Adisha, Selingpa, then Asanga, and then Maitreya. You just then in between, all the other it's a long list of the names are there. So just have a conviction that all the Kadamba, the earlier and the later, in entirety of the Kadamba masters, absolutely in real time, in real in real person like that, is absolutely present with you as an object of your refuge, object of your veneration, object where you can intensify or strengthen your spiritual development. Then also the all the meditational deities from all the four tantric lineages, in particularly such as the Madhatara, one of main meditational deity of Kadamba masters, one of the main meditational deity in relation to lojong practice. And not just one Tara, but all the 21 Taras are present. And all the Dharma protectors, like such as Siksa Mahakala, in particularly protector to the practice of compassion, like Chenrezig. And all the rest of the other Dharma protectors are also present to assist us to actualize the realization. Those of you who have who not have realized bodhicitta and emptiness, even the understanding, then here conditioning you to actualize correct understanding. Then if those of you have an understanding but then unable to actualize the wisdom of meditation, on the basis of wisdom of contemplation and wisdom of learning, then here conditioning you to actualize wisdom of meditation. Then those of you who who have wisdom of meditation on emptiness and bodhicitta, but then not yet, realize as a part within your system, then here causing you to actualize that. And those of you who have already realized bodhicitta, realized emptiness, but not have not become sustainable path to you, such as realizing emptiness, but just conceptual realization on emptiness, not a direct realization on the emptiness. You are already bodhisattva, but not Arya bodhisattva yet. Not have not reached to like such as the patient level of the path of preparation. So until then, even you are bodhisattva, still there are danger of degenerating the bodhicitta and may fall into lower vehicles path. So then if you know yourself in that stage, then here the refuge and merit field causing you to actualize direct realization on emptiness to achieve the Arya Bodhisattva's path. Simultaneously, also to surpass the path of accumulation and path of preparations in the Bodhisattva's path, and actualize the path of the Arya path, such as path of seeing, like that. So then, if you already have actualized direct realization on emptiness and actualize the sustainable bodhicitta as Arya Bodhisattva's attitude, but have not actualized the special insight, or in another word, Mahamudra, or Dzogchen, or or actually engaging in the ground, like the 10 bhumis, 10 grounds and 10 bhumis, which start from path of seeing onward, where effectively using the most serviceable mind of shamatha and utilizing the sharpest wisdom, the direct the wisdom that realizing emptiness directly on non-conceptual, by non-conceptual meditative mind, then effectively engaging in meditation to eradicate the defilement, especially the tendency of delusions, the tendency of delusions, the subtle delusions, training yourself, all the way up to the 7 bhumis. Then bringing complete eradication when you achieve the 8 bhumis. Then from there, focusing on overcoming the defilement, which is obscuration to omniscient, those subtle defilements. Then actualizing the meditative equipoise of the 10 bhumi. You understand, you are causing, through this reliance of the refuge, with this refuge and merit object, that causing you that. Then even if you have achieved 10 bhumi, but then not yet actualized the path of no more learning, the state of full enlightenment, then the reason could be you have been training throughout and on the basis of the Sutrayana path. and able to achieve up to the 10 boon. But then, still not achieving part of normal learning could be due to not actualizing the daily yoga practice, the tantra, the high sugi tantric, the entry to the high sugi tantric practice of generation and completion stage, without which the enlightenment is not possible. So then, now this merit field and the refuge field, causing and conditioning you without delaying even a moment, all the Buddhas and Gurus manifest into Buddha Vajradhara and initiate you there, and without delaying, very much next moment, you actualize the path of generation and completion stage of the tantric path, and on the basis of whatever deity that you are familiar with, and you actualize enlightenment within that deity. So like that. So you can, this is a process of meditation, and also a process of it is to know where you are and what kind of specific help that you are requesting, in relation to your reliance in the refuge and merit field. This way, make it very clear, the steps of the path, and what kind of tools that you need to actualize, accordingly, to this very brief kind of guide. Sorry. Yeah. Haya Naya Muni Muni Mai Minaye Zo Kangi dojene zone dawa damji bambi jire dambi jine denze bang dam de la chanse Tony ninje zondo jobe lam zeje zejo kanji dende chana demo denze jazo la zowa dezo da ju jinje. Thank you. Yeah, so lojong teaching. So so lojong mind training teachings unlikely than any other you know ways of study in Buddhist practice. It is mm, the lojong when we relate to lojong teaching is very much regarded as a like a pit instruction to you. It's very much literally to follow. It is a practice manual, practice guide, practice manual. We need to stay away, very much from debate, the philosophical debates in relation to the approach to the lojong teaching. Also, the it's like the lamrim has stages of the path that need to build, when we meditate, when we practice. But as far as concerned, the lojong is straightforward, even though, yes, every practice has its own preparatory practice, actual practice, conclusion practice, but not kind of the stages of building up, constructing in our system the way how we do in relation to lamrim practice, like actualize first the small scope, small capable beings path, then middle capable beings path, then high capable beings path. Here, it's straight away in the practice of high capable beings path, and among the higher capable beings path, very much the approach is to practice the essence of the higher capable beings path, and that makes lojong teaching is one of the most effective, most most effective, as well as the most, you can say, most concise. As a guide, it's also very easy, even though the practice is, yes, it's very intense, but there's no, complication in arranging orders, how one should practice. Is from whichever angle that you approach to lojong practice, is about developing the true altruism, the altruistic attitude and altruistic wisdom. Very much that, and there are a few very effective tools, like such as practice of tonglen practice, and simply training in that repeatedly you accomplish all the purifications of negativities. You accomplish all the accumulations of the merit. Purifying all the flows of all the flows, the delusions, the obscurational obstacles and delusional obstacles, and rest of the samsaric flows. Even the what you call the development of the 5 parts and 10 bhumis, just through the extensive purifications and accumulations happen when you engage in lojong practice, like such as tonglen practice. The development of 5 parts and 10 bhumis, all those complicated kind of structures, develop very much naturally into yourself, So it carry very special blessing. Those who ever have the karma to meet the lojong teaching and live a life practicing lojong teaching is a very fortunate one, one of the most fortunate one. The Buddhist teaching is, of course, there's practice of the three higher trainings, and the teachings are taught, in three baskets, and 84,000 different varieties, 4 different schools of philosophy, and and in 3 yanas, 3 scopes, and sutra and tantra. Then even when the Buddha's teaching, after arrive into Tibet, then the Tibetan, the 4 traditions, when strictly following the traditions of the Nalanda masters, such as the lineage guru of like Atisha, etc. The delivery of Buddhist teaching very much, 3 or 4 ways. One is philosophical approach, another one is the lamrim approach, and then the third one is the lojong approach, which you can also regard as the approach of approach through instruction, like giving pit instruction. And when we need to, if you follow philosophical tradition, it really require great amount of time to study, and also need to carry quite a sharp faculty in order to do a rigorous study. Otherwise, so difficult to get the essence, of the Buddha's teaching, out of the philosophy, unless you study for a long time and you study rigorously. Then if you study lamrim, you really need to, have this very structured, gradual learning and structured gradual application in your practice, in your meditations. It also require quite a quite a great amount of time, and also quite a sharp faculty. But as far as concerned with the lojong, it fits to anybody. Those great philosophers, the lojong practice, serve as the absolute understanding of the entire philosophy. The lojong teaching is the yesterday the word, contestants, yes, there's one what do you call it? In the center of the cake. What do you call? And yesterday the nectar,
The frosting?
Pastry, cream of the cake.
The frosting.
Not that one. That's one particular word. Huh? No, not feeling. That's usually in the car when you're going, then said one word, a particular word. What is that?
The icing on the cake.
Icing, no, that's another one. Anyway, yeah. So I just definitely fall into low faculty student. Yesterday I remember, very good, but today I forgot. Anyway, like that. The nectar, the essence. Yeah. The core. Yeah, that's good idea. Please come up. more idea. Yeah, the batter of the cake. Yeah, the batter of the cake. But still not that word that I thought was, wow, that's very good, It's to do with some kind of cake or fruit or something, then the essence. Anyway, yes, the whatever you said, that's the one. The essence. So the lojong teaching, lojong practices, even for the philosopher, after you study so many scriptures, so much rigorous study, the finding the essence of Buddha's teaching, the lojong teaching. So, and also for Lamrim, after you study the Lamrim, the main body practice, the essence is the lojong, the teaching, the lojong teaching. Even whatever guidance that you receive from your guru, throughout your spiritual journey, it may be initiations, it may be commentaries, oral transmissions, giving vows, but then the essence is the lojong teaching. Even for the Buddha make a statement of the entire purpose of his existence, entire purpose of his the teaching that he shared with us is never to commit non-virtues, only commit perfect virtues, and subduing your mind is teachings of the Buddha. Subduing your mind, that's called lojong. Training your mind is the teachings of the Buddha. Lo mind, jong is subdue or train. So lojong. So so therefore, it's truly the purpose. And also from our perspective, the trainee's perspective, we learn Buddha's teaching, we follow Buddha Dharma, not to get intellectual knowledge. That's not the ultimate purpose. Not to have this high, kind of degrees, not for getting job, if you study Buddhist teachings, in the world, I think if you go to find a job showing a certificate of this Geshe, after studying, almost 30 years, and then you present the Geshe certificate, no one will give you a job. Say, what is this? The value, in our ordinary world, lower than having a certificate of coffee making. Pastry, barista certificate. If you train for a few months in a barista, and you got a barista certificate, and you carry barista certificate and Geshe Larampa certificate go together, barista certificate, you will immediately get a job. the no value of the Geshe certificate, you know. So yeah, even for your livelihood, you know, there's no benefit from Buddhist, you know, high degrees, etc. Then, yeah, fame, you know, even you study for 30 years, or, you know, some of the Geshes from Tibet, they study for 70 years, then they become Geshe, you know, 70 years later. Can you imagine? There are many earlier Geshes, they become Geshe after 70 years later. You know, even in the Buddhist world, only in this few Tibetan community, monastery community, even with entire Tibetan community also, not everybody know. In the monastery community, this is just few hundred people, few thousands. That's it. No one knows. You know? Rather, if you study for a few years of scientists or some, you know, and you create a like a Facebook, you develop one apps, you will be world famous. For fame was no use. Then say, oh, my pleasure, you know, comfort in my life, you know. So I studied Buddhism for 30, 40 years. Then, you know, I will have the most luxurious home, luxurious bathtub, swimming pools, you know, and servants, you know, and all the comfort. No, you see, if you study so hard like that, you may become the one of the poorest one. If you dedicate 30 years of rigorous study in Buddha Dharma, the end result, the worldly comfort, you know, you may not even have a home. You have no money, you know, no comfort. You very much nothing. You see, so yeah. So therefore, then if you study Buddhism for your these lifetimes, okay, you know, other purposes for these lifetimes benefit, you don't get anything, honestly speaking. You know, maybe all of us are the example. If, you know, if we compare with other ordinary people's the worldly success, you know, because we practice, you know, we are much more humble than many others. You know, so if it is not about training the mind, if it is not about actualizing all the benefit to our inner world, then almost Buddhism have nothing to offer. Buddhist teachings, Buddhist practice, nothing to offer. Honestly, you know. Even let's say, wow, you go to the cave and say, I want to be a very famous meditator, you know, no one will bother you, you know, and you're living in the cave, you will be like kind of treated like homeless, you know. Even in the past, even during Milarepa's time, you know, he went through such a hard time, those fortunate time. You know, Milarepa was roped. Milarepa was, you know, carried by a few big men and you know, throw him on the ground. It happened like that, you know. Can you imagine those period actually fortunate time happened like that? In today's time, if we try to be like yogic, you know, people will start to throw stone and throw spit. So anyway, so therefore, if it is not about training the mind, it's not about awakening the mind, there's nothing to awake outside. You know, any of the Buddha, in emptiness, bodhicitta, it will not awake outside. Even how altruistic you are, you know, you may become a victim of others' abuse, others taking advantage because you are so altruistic, you know, and you will be the victim, you see. Then you say, oh, I realize emptiness, you know, I practice emptiness, you know. You live a life with the emptiness view. You know, people think you're crazy. You see, and not only that, if it's for worldly concern, even you try to utilize emptiness wisdom, you are literally like a crazy. You are really crazy. It's much more better of living with the hallucination than living in the emptiness view, but for worldly purpose. Then it's worse, rather worse than living in hallucination. You know, and living in hallucination better off than that. You see. So therefore, if it's nothing about subduing your mind, it's nothing about awakening in our inner world, then really no purpose. Is no purpose. You know, you are like kind of like hang in between. You know, not fully enjoying the worldly pleasure, at the same time, you know, far away from reaching the spiritual benefit. So in between, then, and that in between person is really really crazy. You know, lost direction. You know, so therefore, again, if it is not about training your mind, so training is about the training the mind that which distracted in negative emotions, which been habitual for a long time through the distraction of delusions and defilements, you know, and that need to be purified, which is about the purification. Purification is you know taking effect of training, isn't it? And the lojong teaching is the tool, or entire Buddha Dharma is a tool tool to use for that training, tool to use to transform, you know, that distracted mind, you know, that distracted mind. And if you use this tool and if you train, if there's no possible to, you know, be success in training, if there's no basis, if there's no possibility of completely get trained, then there's no point training, isn't it? But the fact is, we carry this pure nature, you know, the Tathagata essence, the Buddha nature. All the distractions, all the negativities are temporary, you know, habitual, temporary influence, you know. So therefore, if you use the Dharma tool to train, we can go back to our pure nature. We can go back to our pure being. And when you reach to our origin being, and that is the way you call it, you are awakened. You know, that's the way that you say you become Buddha. So Buddha is again nothing kind of like a collecting object from outside, or reaching certain places, or earning certain, you know, material objects. You see, so and also not going for certain special place. Is right within ourselves, you know, and some more is non-physical, non-tangible thing. You see, if we need to go and pursue some tangible thing, it requires a lot of extra effort. You see, we believe that training the mind is harder than achieving some material object. In actual reality, achieving material object is harder than, you know, training our mind, because training our mind, actualizing Buddha within, in fact, simply, you know, simply changing our habit and able to transform that habitual being from the negative habitual being, turn into a positive habitual being, and you perfect in that positivity. When you complete, when you actualize the perfection in all possible, you know, positivities, And that is the state of Buddhahood, isn't it? Isn't it? You see, even when we pursue any material object, even just plant one flower, it requires generosity, training in the practice of generosity, practice of morality, practice of patience, practice of concentration, practice of wisdom. You require all 6 perfections. To groom a kid, you require that, and anything, anything, just even cook one meal require that, you see. And we think that's easy, but then training our mind is very hard. We have this, kind of like misunderstanding. But training our mind is a similar way. It's just applications of 6 parameter, and some more is nothing to do with actualizing object. It's rather is non-physical. As long as you make that decision that I have the tool to train, I'm going to train, and I start to train now, and I will definitely going to achieve. It's almost like Buddhahood is not that far. It's almost like within 1 feet, or maybe closer than that. In a distance, maybe from here to here, maybe 1 feet, 2 feet. How many feet? 1 feet, 1.5 feet. So if you really still stuck with this very tangible kind of measurements, then you say, okay, just 1.5 feet only from here to here. So anyway, so that's why when these great Kadamba masters, they understood that using this, these lojong tools, then make a determination. I would say, understood that I can achieve enlightenment, within this very cushion, within this very lifetime. First, they make that confirmation to themselves. Then after that, they just put everything aside and just get into complete training. Everything aside, meaning all the worldly concern aside. But it doesn't mean that you leave your job, you leave your family. The Kadamba masters never did that. When we learn about Geshe Zopa, he's not even a monk. He's a lay practitioner. He don't have time to just go and do retreat and meditations. He was one of the busiest person, taking care of his cows, taking care of his teacher, cooking for the teacher, cleaning teacher's house. He don't have a wife, but his teacher is enough of like a wife, children, chicken, cow, everything. He has to do everything. Is more busy than like us, who have so many responsibilities. You see? But because of this change his thinking and motivation and everything, used to transform his mind, by developing this tool, by interpreting everything he does into this development of this true altruism. You see, everything he does, and he realized, wherever he is, whatever he's doing is the best place, best environment. And similar to rest of the Kadamba masters, some of the Kadamba masters, the environment is one of the most filthiest environment, most destructive environment, and they felt they understood, they interpret that's the best place for them to train their heart. So from here, what we can learn is whichever kind of lifestyle that you may have, we need to make a decision that is the perfect place for me to develop this true altruism. The tool is to use the tools of the 6 parameter. If you are working, you use the 6 parameter as a tool to actualize the true altruism through your job life. If you are parent to children, use the six tools to actualize the true altruism. And your parenting will be the most perfected parenting. Your children will love it. You see, if you apply this to your job, your if you are the CEO, rest of the your staff will love it. If you are working for someone, your boss will love it. You will be the best. You may even now, by the way, the bonus, you may even achieve what you call the job of the year award, what the best employee of the year award. That's the bonus. Without asking, you may be able to achieve it. Then, if your life with your partner, you apply these 6 parameters to actualize this to altruism. Your partner will think that your partner will also give you an award of the best husband of the universe, best wife of the universe. You see, so if you apply that in a community service, like such a center, you will be the most charming, the most most adorable to everybody. You see, then if you are serving guru, then you apply this the 6 parameter to develop to altruism. The best offering. So you see, so this is how the Katapa masters, achieve the success in their enlightenment within short period of lifetime. You see, Kadamba, meaning they interpret everything into the tool to transform your heart. Everything they see dharma. Dharma means tool to fix our heart. Dharma, che means tool to fix our heart. Tool to fix called che. So even in refer to tantra, tantra means is tool to fix the impure perception, impurities. Called sangha, like a secret mantra. Meaning also is the tool that to fix our being from all the impurities. Dharma also means that. So in other words, dharma meaning is called lojong. Tantra meaning is also called lojong. Mind training, the same thing. The tool to train our mind. You see. So yeah, so like that. And you see, when whichever sadhana you practice, whichever tradition you practice, whichever yana you practice, when you start to practice the Kadamba way, everything to develop this true altruism, then everything, you taste really the yumminess in all practice. Then our journey also, you find our life is like a yummy life. It's like most fulfilling life. In that way, you are you carry the immune system to see positivities in everything, to see opportunities in everything, to develop this true altruism. So even the suffering, when suffering comes away, for lojong practitioner, they feel that's the most pleasant thing. That's the most wonderful thing. They regard as this is the blessing. When suffering environment comes in your way, wow, as I shared before, my late master, which I witnessed through my own eye, that 1 year of from our ordinary view is suffering, is tremendous suffering. You can see from a very big size, like rapidly every single day, 365 days, like kind of like slashing, piece by piece and making it until come to just the bone, just leave the bone. Then you can see the degenerations of all the senses from outside. You can see eye senses, ear senses, etc. But then because of the training in lojong, in meditation, that until they are subtle awareness completely awake, is very much like awakened. Their mind become the sharpest, most alert, and most positive. And every single day, when the external negative circumstances comes in your way, they become happier and happier. And they even sing song. They even without control, they voice out. They say, "Best thing is happening. This is what you are whole life hoping for." Say, "May all sentient beings ripen up on me. May all my happiness, virtue, ripen up on others." Like now it's literally happening, in real time happening. It's wow, it's most fulfilling. You can see the glow. They gain back the glow. You see this. The energy is unbelievable. You see, then they dissolve into clear light. And what can be more blissful than the clear light experience? Like the experience of losing entire grasping and completely live in absolute peace, like kind of like you're in the middle of the sky. You don't need to worry at all that you already have the wing that will never fall down, and you have the entire space to roam. How would you feel? Yeah, it's like absolute freedom, isn't it? Like liberational experience, isn't it? Then they live like they really go through like that, you see. So even after for this, like late Geshe Lamakonjo, after he passed away, you see, it's like gaining all this glow, even physically also, reviving all the glow, after entire the what you call the condemned aggregates are degenerating, but then manifesting into like very much illusory body that come out, from the exhaustions of the contaminated aggregates. You can people can witness like that. See? So so then there are many examples. You see, so like that. So then no question about it. Good things comes in our way, also is absolute bliss. Bad thing comes in our way, absolute bliss. You see. So then even at the time of dying, since your training is so habitual with the true altruism, without any doubt that you're going to actualize the union of great bliss and emptiness when during the experience of clear light. You see, then that will make sure that no doubt the future lifetimes, either you already actualize Dharmakaya. If not, you actualize Bodhisattva's rebirth, where forever beneficial for your own benefit and the rest of the sentient beings' benefit, or something like that. Okay, so now I will go through the text. Yeah, I forgot to share the text. Maybe some of you already have. I supposed to share, but is in the collections of the great lojong treatise. Great lojong treatise. In there, the chapter 26, which is called mind training in single session. So mind training in single session. Okay, so there's many way to offer the teaching. or for the commentary, the word explanation, then the verses, the meaning, the overall meaning of the verses, etc. So here, just go through briefly, since it is very clear, just able to read it and understood. And this composition is very much a meditational guide. We just need to follow exactly like that and apply into our day-to-day life to meditate like this. So it's very, very clear. So here, very much, so I received the transmission of the great lojong from my late master. And many of these teachings are from great lojong treaty. There are certain texts like 8 verses of thought transformation, 7-point mind training, well sharp weapons are quite common to offer commentaries, but many of the texts in this collection, hardly taught, hardly have discourse, and even the transmission, also becoming quite rare on this great treatise, like that. So yeah, mind training in a single session. Chim Namgatak. So it's a composition of Chim Namgatak, great Kadamba master. So it says, homage to the teachers, the perfect spiritual friend. First make homage before the composition of the text. So this is a special traditions of the Nalanda masters, which carry out in Tibet by the Tibetan Mahasiddhas and scholars. Whenever they do any composition, so they make homage, and that has 2 reasons. One is to clear obstacle to the composition. Another reason is to receive blessings, so that composition will be beneficial to the preservation of the Dharma in sentient being. Then also the homage there will also see, very much understand what is the main theme of the teaching. So if it is if it's teachings on wisdom, the main theme of the teachings, main theme of the text is on wisdom, then there's paying homage to Manjushri, or paying homage to emptiness. If the main theme is the teaching on extensive dharma, like especially on like compassion, bodhicitta, then paying homage to charity, paying homage to compassion, etc. Then if it's the teaching is mainly the main focus is on precepts, then paying homage to the Tathagatas, like that. So here, the paying homage to teacher, spiritual teacher, obviously show this is very much like a pit instruction, pit instructions of the teacher, which is the lojong teaching itself. There are 3 points to this instruction: the preparatory practice, the main practice, and concluding practice. So whole this meditational guide has 3 parts. The preparatory practice. The preparatory practice is as follows. In a solitary place, a site free of conditions non-conducive to observing pure ethical conduct. Sit on a comfortable cushion, then go for refuge and generate the awakening mind. So the best, the 6 kind of preparatory conducive condition that as described, such as in Lamrim by Lama Tsongkhapa, in relation to like shamatha practice. And if you're able to gather such kind of conducive place, then that's the best. The first one is solitary place. In solitary place here, meaning quiet comfortable place, not necessarily like no noise at all. It doesn't mean that, even if you go to some caves, the noise of birds, noise of animals, is possible. So it's not talking about solitude. Is the solitude from solitude from two major kind of distractions. The people or the things, the environment that which will condition and trigger your attachment. The another is anger. So the people and the places, the solitude place where you do retreat is somewhere that you have a less, distractions of attachment, desirous attachment particularly. Then also aversion. So if you live around a place there who always, make inconvenience to you, then there's danger of arising anger, frustrations. So solitude place is somewhere you don't have to. You can be free from worries, free from worries. So that's a solitude. Solitude, solitude in the sense your mind can completely settle in that place, completely settle. And that could be in your own home, and in your own home, in your prayer room. That be possible. It's not necessarily has to be in cave. So if you go to cave and you don't know the place well, and you scared all the time, you're scared of robbery, then it's not a solitude, or you all the time scared of when you're going to get your next meal, then that's not solitude, you see. So in solitude, you can also understand as a perfect retreat place where you can able to retreat. Retreat meaning retreat from all the disturbances to your karma writing, disturbances for your cultivation, and that can be internal emotion as well as the external circumstances and factors. So that's then here, especially the pure ethical, place where you can observe pure ethical. So the pure ethical, not just about ethic in relation to this can be understood in many ways. If you are observing certain precept like as a sangha, monk or nun, then wherever you do retreat, there should be a place where there's no danger for disrupting your vows, monastery vows. If you are holding Bodhisattva vows, especially lojong practitioner, definitely you need to have the Bodhisattva precept. So you need to practice somewhere there's not danger to your, bringing transgression to your Bodhisattva precepts. Then after that, you see a comfortable cushion. So there you organize according with your ability, capability, or availability of the conducive condition to set an altar. You can go, the maximum, organization, like our gurus does, like Captain Lama Subramanian. Can imagine if you go into his retreat room, thousands of lights, thousands of offerings, thousands of holy objects, everything is abundance. But then you can go all the way like Milarepa where there's nothing, complete empty cave. You see? So whatever it is, main thing here, sitting cushion, setting up cushion, etc., is for you to able to engage in the preparatory practice, a preliminary practice. On the basis of preparatory practice, now you're able to engage in the preliminary practice. What is the preliminary practice? The seminal practice. where you can engage in the preliminary practice to purify negativities, accumulate merit, during the retreat, especially during the post-retreat, post sessions, So that means, setting up altar, then make the, arrange holy objects, whatever you have, then make, then where you can do prostration, the first limb, then make offerings, second limb, and then third, you do purification, then the, rejoicing, then requesting to the merit field, gurus to remain, then requesting guru, the merit field to turn the wheel of Dharma, then at the end, dedication, you see. So for that purpose. So this is what he means. Then such as, generations of refuge, refuge practice, and then generation of motivation, the awakening mind. So this is what it means. Then contemplate your body as devoid of substantial reality. So it's straight away like this. It's like follow exactly the wording. After you have done all that, settle yourself on a comfortable cushion. Then contemplate your body as a devoid of substantial reality. So which is one of most essential before any meditation, before any practices, even for post-session practices, even just want to make one piece of flower offering, waterfall offering. The meditation on emptiness, here it mentioned about contemplating body as a devoid of substantial reality. Like, so this is talking about in relation to the practitioner. And generally, not only the practitioner, even the practice, objective, everything, you start with, have a certain basis of at least understanding in emptiness. And from there, you kick off rest of the practice. So as for here, then contemplate your body as a void of substantial reality, like a balloon filled with air. You visualize like that. And that is very helpful to cause ourselves to realize emptiness, realize selflessness. Because there's a great, intense habitual grasping of as if self exists within the body. You see, and when you meditate like a balloon, like empty, completely empty, then it causes yourself to lose the grasping that I may be possible in my organs, internal organs, very much whatever stuff that within this skin, which are the aggregates, without knowingly, we have this grasping of self-existing on that basis. So it helps to, to overcome that. Then imagine your heart as a mass of white light. And at your crown, visualize your root teacher seated on the cushions of moon upon a lotus, and contemplate him to be the sole embodiment of all the lineage masters from the Buddha to the present, of the teachers from whom you have actually received teachings, of the meditation deities, and of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and prostrate to them mentally and make offering to them, and make offering to them. So this is the, as I mentioned before, seminal practice. Do the seminal practice. So, so you see, first imagine your body as a completely, like filled with air, like the balloon. Then, so that is more to the physical aggregates. Now, then after that, imagine your heart. Heart here is talking about your mind as a mass of white light. It's like a light energy, which is also void of, like tangible, substantial existent. It's very much white light in the sense is like when you look into space, you see the light, that kind of light. You see, and that in fact is a characteristic of what means empty. The space is like empty because it's the luminousness of the luminous that that comes from the light to the empty space that makes the space, that make the space, isn't it? So it's very much again about meaning of there's no substantial existence, because and this meditation is important and beneficial. The grasping about self-existence, very much on the basis which is the 5 aggregates. So after meditating all physical body as a balloon-like, then there's nothing, there's no physical kind of substance to grasp as self could be exist from its own side. Not only that, even the mental factor also is void of substantial existence. Therefore, I do not also exist. I do not exist also in the mind or on the mind or of the mind. I also empty of substantial existence from the mind. You see, so therefore, you lose the false view of I may be existent within the aggregates, from there. See, so that it helps to actualize the wisdom of selflessness. Then creating the merit field, the rest of the word that just now I read, and moon and moon cushion and lotus cushion. So that's visualizations of guru sitting on the guru who is inseparable from you, who is your ultimate being, no different than your Tathagata essence. But as a trainee now, whose being is obscured by negativities, now in order to purify that and actualize the resultant Guru Buddhahood, and you do this visualization of merit field, and where you accumulate merit, purify the karma. But then the purpose of Guru sitting on the lotus mundis and lotus seat, mundis is to create a condition for yourself to achieve illusory body or the rainbow body. The lotus is to actualize the wisdom body, the Dharmakaya, wisdom body. So by meditating in this way, you are already from the very initial of your retreat, you are creating causes, right and direct causes. If you happen to achieve enlightenment within that very cushion, within that very retreat, you are already actualizing the right causes of your enlightenment. Enlightenment is a state of achieving the two bodies of the Buddha, the wisdom body and illusory body of the Buddha, isn't it? So the illusory body or the Buddha need, the main cause from very beginning. They start with the meditation that you'll be trained by visualizing the Guru, sitting on the moon cushion. So it's just simply visualizing that you already established the seat for your illusory body, for your Buddha's form body. By visualizing sun was a lotus cushion, then you actualize the direct causes for you actualize Buddha's wisdom body, Dharmakaya. So those are the reasons. Then also important to visualize your root guru as embodiment of all the other gurus and all the deities. And there you make prostrations. So since you're already sitting, if you are doing the retreat, then you can do the gesture of the hand prostration, because before you sit, you already done the prostration. Now you not necessarily have to stand up, so you can do the hand gesture prostration. Then after that, make offerings. Here you can do the Samanabhadra, the extensive offerings. Then after that, make supplication. The supplication here, it says, "Oh my gurus, you who are perfect spiritual friend, please attend to me. Bless me, oh my guru, you who are perfect spiritual friend, so that unblemished realization of You get my reading? Unblemished. Unblemished. Okay. So that unblemished realization of the Mayana mind training may arise within me. Bless me so that I may subdue the grasping at I and self. Grasping at I and self. You see, grasping at I, the identity as a substantial existence. Then that I receiving to exist on the basis, like such as on this valid basis, which is the aggregates, is the self. This very bless me so that I may subdue the grasping at I and self this very instant, and that I may understand all adversities and obstacles as aid to Dharma practice. So this is the supplication. Then make this supplication 3 times. So you reflect while reciting, this 3 times. Meditate the meaning. While imagining, okay, so this is the you can meditate it. While imagining, my mind is an actual Buddha who has eliminated all defects. You can meditate like that. My mind is an actual Buddha who has eliminated all defects, including the propensities. So the all defect you can refer to karma and all the delusions, including propensities. Propensities refer to the defilement, the obscuration, the omniscience. And so that means you are Buddha. That is the reason why you are Buddha, because you have eliminated defects and including their propensities. Who is endowed with every highest qualities, the perfected state of the 6 perfections. So these are the highest qualities. The highest qualities of the perfected wisdom, highest qualities of perfected skill, highest qualities of the perfected blessing. Like that. Take refuge in the body, speech, and mind of your teacher. So here, especially, you are taking refuge from your teacher, who is essence of all the three object of refuge in general. Then meditate. Then imagine that your teacher descend through your crown perpetua, and enter your heart, which is heaps of light, and contemplate that this is the actual Buddha. So when you do that, before you drink that, while you're taking refuge, your guru is on your crown, isn't it? Then before descending the guru, dissolving guru into you, your heart, the heart chakra naturally open, as if like our normal heart, like this kind, like this, like an apple type or pear type, right in the center. It open, it form as a 8-petal lotus. 8-petal lotus. So in the center of the 8-petal lotus, there's a mundis, because the lotus disc is already there. So now mundis, the heart become mundis, then they are actualized like the central, central, what do you call the flowers of the lotus? What do you call? This one, Pharaoh's the middle one, yeah. This one, this round one.
Stamens.
The pistil.
Stamen.
Stain.
Stamen.
Okay, stamen. The flower stamen, turn to flower stamen, actualize as a mundis. You can feel very bright, but very soothing, very comfortable, like that, And the lotus also is magnificent, extensive, is in all pervasive. You can understand all pervasive, not like just here like that, all pervasive, and the mundis is completely covered, also all pervasive, no, then your teacher descend, and the teacher that descending initially is like, even though it is in the energy nature, but then physically, the living guru, like physically how you relate to your living guru, exactly like that, completeness. But then that, since it is essence is dharmakaya, then it's without losing, without kind of like without losing the image of, without losing the image in your perception, the complete figureness, but then yet, it dissolves into a light. But when you look at it, you're not losing the figure, but then yet it transforms into a light. See, then for the purpose of entering from your crown, as a trainee, you still, not like as a Buddha that can expand, magnificent way. So therefore, the guru, become like around thumb size. In the light energy, which is the guru, you still see exact that magnificent guru when you look at it, but then the light form, the size, it become like thumb size. And then enter from your crown. A crown perpetua, where the curly hair is, that's the where usually the central channel, the hole is somewhere here, but the hook, it be like banded like this, is around your crown, which where your curly hair is. So when you do power, that's the where the hole pop up and where the consciousness go up. You see, so from there, for the purpose of guru entering into your heart, that part opened. They enter from there, and even the central channel. Don't think like tangible, ordinary kind of. It's again in the light energy like that. So enter from there, then reside on your the mundis. Then mundis. Or then after that, then the lotus, naturally like close up like this. Naturally close up. Then after that, if you know your guru's name mantra, so many different gurus, they get the name mantra out of their name in Sanskrit. If you know the guru's name mantra, if you don't know, then like Lama Tsongkhapa's name guru or Guru Rinpoche's name mantra. So an example like Lama Tsongkhapa's name mantra, so on. So this is the heart. Close up. Now, while you recite the Guru's name mantra, it's as if you're tying it. It's 3 times. Then after that, the name mantra also turn into a like cross Vajra. Then you place the cross Vajra on top. It's like sealing, never to be separated, being inseparable from you, never to depart from you. That enlightened Guru, and it become oneness with your being, So for that purpose, then you tie the knots, tie the ropes of the mantra around, and seal it seal it with the Vajra, cross Vajra, while reciting the mantra. The mantra turned into a cross Vajra.
It appears that they're changing the microphone. Sorry, we still can't hear you.
Maybe this is to test how good our concentration is.
Thank you, we can hear you.
Yeah. If such thing happen, whether Guru is still inside the heart or he disappeared. Maybe it's a good exercise. Maybe this is the Guru's blessing. Whether you tie the knot hard enough or not, or suddenly Guru gone, you completely freak out. Okay, so I finished this reading. Then, yes, so it says, which is heaps of light, okay, the Guru. Then contemplate that this is the actual Buddha. The Guru is the actual Buddha. As your teacher's body, speech, and mind dissolve into you, then they become the ultimate expense, which is the great clear light. Your clear light, Guru's clear light, become oneness. Leave your mind in this state for as long as it abides. So you meditate there. You see, so this is as a preliminary stage. So you just even during the preliminary practice, this stage, you meditate there. There you should feel you should feel so protected. You should feel that you have lost all the conceptual concerns, worldly concerns, because you are oneness with the Guru, and even in reality, you are still training. Guru is enlightened one, but Guru's power, Guru's ability is enlightened ability. So there's no limitation to protect us. And you create the condition through this practice. And Guru definitely, is become oneness with you. Guru definitely enter into your heart. Guru's holy body, speech, and mind, and your body, speech, and mind definitely become oneness. Guru's energy is completely pervasive in the entire existence of you. You see. So therefore, even as a training, that now I have no fear. I have no concern at all. My resultant, Buddhahood is definite, like that kind of comfort, that kind of, settledness, and that kind of enlightened, kind of liberated kind of state feeling, and try to abide your meditation in that as long as you're able to. So you do this visualization, slowly, according with your time speed, then it build up, to come to a point that it's unbelievable protection that you receive, unbelievable bliss, the blessing that you can experience, Then even after meditation onward, when you go out into a post meditation, we receive immense of protection, through the Guru, because of that, this Guru Yoga practice. This is also, you can call as Guru Yoga practice, like that. Okay, so then when thought arises, so during this meditation, any other thought, disturbing thoughts or whatever distractions arises, visualize your teacher at your crown and make dedication towards the fulfillment of his enlightened aspirations and supplicate him. So then, Guru is enlightened. So therefore, spontaneously, numberless emanations emanates. Not only that, because Guru is enlightened, there's not even one single atom where there's no Guru. So therefore, for the purpose of overcoming disturbances, instantly you understand there's a Guru on top of your crown. Again, the lotus, the mundis, sitting the Guru, sitting the Guru as you have visualized before. He is still there. One of his emanations is still there. So you draw the mind from distraction and place your mind towards the Guru on your crown. Then there you make you dedicate towards the fulfillment of enlightenment and aspiration. So then you make whatever merit that you accumulate in relation to the 7 limb practices you have just done, all the preparatory practice, even though you haven't get into the actual meditation yet, but still you have accumulated so much merit and you dedicate to actualize all the Guru's aspirations, enlightened aspirations, which is to lead all sentient beings in the state of full enlightenment, including yourself. You make supplications of supplication like that, Then you make aspiration that may I achieve the resultant Guru Buddhahood, without delay even a moment, So that will help to withdraw your mind from distraction. You see. So once you have done that, then you place your abiding mind back to the meditation or the observation of the Guru in your heart, and again that feeling of Guru is Buddha, Guru is oneness with me, that Guru yoga in your heart, oneness of Guru, Buddha, and you, and feeling that void of all the obstacles and completely, the bliss of complete protection that you have received. You meditate again that, and you train that for a few times. Engage in this meditation approximately 6 times during the day and night, and so on. So, if you are a well-disciplined one, then not just in one session you do a few rounds, but you try to train like that 6 times, 3 times in the day, 3 times in the night, or at least 3 times in the morning, right after you wake up, and 3 times before you go to bed, because daytime there may be no time. But if you are in a retreat, then you organize your time. There's post session about 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours. Then after that, you just conduct a retreat, session like meditation like that. Then whatever meditative absorption you aspire to will arise in your mental condition. So this way, then whatever meditation you're going to do later, so easily will be actualized, the realization. So this goes similar, you apply this to shamatha meditation, emptiness meditation, lamrim meditation, whatever meditation you want to do, deity yoga meditation. So this is a perfect guide to follow, and that will help cause us to realize the path quickly. Then first train in the preliminary. So this is the preliminary main body part. So earlier one is preparatory practice now. Up to now it's preparatory practice. So now start the actual session, actual meditations, preliminary practice. So which it says, this is threefold. As for the rarity of attaining the human existence of leisure and opportunity, contemplate the qualities of leisure and opportunity and take their essence. So first, you have a reflection on the common preliminary practice of meditating on the precious human rebirth, such as the 8 leisures and 10 endowments, this can be even sum up just in one thought. Like in our case, our life is, our life exists in one of the most fortunate time where compassionate Buddha Cherezik manifested into a human guru form, then like such as Sakya teaching, like such as Yawakamapa, all these, great Nyingma Lamas. Can you imagine? Then your immediate root guru, you have the life when your gurus are still manifesting teachings on this human body. Where can be more fortunate rebirth than this? And you have all the freedoms. No one is stopping you. Your parents are not stopping you. Your partner not stopping you. And all the opportunities, and even you aspire to receive teaching, but then if guru don't teach, also difficult. But guru also teaching abundance. Guru is teaching so much, and you also have time. In how busy you are, also still you can find time. You see, and you are still healthy. With all your senses. You see, can you imagine in that stage if no life, how? Can you imagine in that stage if you have no limb, how? Can you imagine if that stage if you have no sense faculty to see, hear, how? Even guru exists out there, how? But even you have complete faculty, but then if guru is not there, how? Even guru there, if he's not teaching, how? You see, so it's unbelievable freedom and fortunate that we have. If you want to meditate more, then you can use what the Lamrim says. You are having freedom of being born in hell realm, Harigos realm, animal realm. All this, but just the truth that we obviously can understand, all the opportunity, all the freedom that you have, the internal freedom, internal opportunities, external freedom, external conducive conditions, everything exists. And that time, and you still stay confused and not practicing, not relating to the Dharma, not relating to the Guru, then still caught up with your own samsaric indulgement in negative emotion like depression, sadness, lost direction. Sometimes we do that because of some samsaric obstacle comes, then entire our energy invests in there, and you forget all the leisures and all the freedom that you have, and completely overwhelmed and stressed, feel sick, mentally completely lost hope. We do that. Sometimes we human being, can be so fragile, can be so easy to get distracted. Little, you see, little, like just I had some flu, then I give up the class. Actually, shouldn't be doing that. I had a flu, then I have all sort of excuses just to make myself comfortable. Oh, today is raining, it's snowing. Okay, yeah. Okay, Initially try to think of the teaching. No. This is unbelievable. Where we have freedom, where we have opportunity. If we don't do Dharma discourse, then what can we be doing more meaningful than that? Well, then after that, it's here wrong. Then after that, then you sleep. Then so many hours wasted. Or maybe you watch movie. I think I watch movie, and watching movie is more tiring than giving teaching. I'm more exhausted. You see. So this is how one just small example how human mind behaves. Time to time. You see, just because of weather is gloomy, we get very, very low in our emotion. Feel so depressed. And just because of certain negative emotion came in, and you just make a conclusion of your life is like so negative like that, and you just get depressed. We do like that. You see. So when So truly, the meditation on the common, the preliminary practice such as precious human rebirth is so crucial, extremely crucial. Like in Lamrim, as I usually mention, there's 3 decisions that we need to make sure that we never get distracted. The first decision, by reflecting on precious human rebirth, all the freedoms, all the opportunities, and I can practice Dharma. I can actualize enlightenment within this very lifetime. Even within this very cushion, I have all the tools, I have all the opportunity, I have all the freedom, and nothing is lacking, and that's coming from meditating on precious human rebirth. Make a decision to practice Dharma. Up to now, so many things say, no, I have no time, I have no resources, my teacher is far away, I don't understand, or this is too tough, or this is this. We have thousands of excuses to make yourself that you are not capable to practice Dharma. So first thing, I'm capable. Second thing, reflecting on the death and impermanent. Even you have this all freedoms and opportunities to practice Dharma, but this may disappear next moment. No one can guarantee. You cannot guarantee. Can you imagine outside somebody will able to guarantee you when you're going to die? Next moment could be your death. You see, losing all the freedom, all the opportunity, and happen to born in 3 Lord Ilams. Can you imagine? So therefore, make the second decision. I must practice now, in the present moment. I must live in the present moment, fully in the Dharma. Again, not to misunderstand here, doesn't mean you give up all your work, your family, and run away to the kid. Doesn't mean like that. Doesn't. I already give an example before. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just turn the practice inwardly, inner dependent, not external dependent. Completely interpret, to take as a tool to transform your mind. May not be the teaching that expressed from your Dharma book or from your teacher's mouth, but even the wind blows, you interpret that as a tool to transform your mind. Even sunrise, you interpret that is to transform your mind. Suddenly great storm come, even the entire house blown up, also interpret that to transform your mind. Someone angry and beating you up, also take that as a Dharma to take a tool as a turn to transform your mind, develop to altruism. So that's what it means. You see, so that's what it means. Live in the present moment all the time. In Dharma means live in the present moment all the time, transforming your mind. Developing this true altruism. So that's what I mean. You see. Then the third decision is, once you pass away, the journey doesn't end there. The journey doesn't end there. The continuation is ever exist in future time. You see, and what kind of future continuation, whether it's pleasure one or suffering, is very much defined by the virtue that you accumulate. Especially is to concern from future lifetime, then that require Dharma virtue, not ordinary virtue also help. You need a Dharma virtue. So therefore, I should only practice Dharma. So that comes the third decision. Only practice Dharma. You see. So therefore, only practice mind training. Everything. Every experiences. Turn into tools of mind training. And it's nice, and we can do that. You see. You see. So as I mentioned before, cooking. You cook with full of mindfulness. Full of ethics. Full of generosity, full of effort, patience, and joyous effort, concentration and wisdom, Then after that, you place the dish in front of your family. Even they just bang the table, say this is awful taste also, because you have the training of the wisdom, you will not affect it. You cook selflessly. And and you cook with bodhicitta, you cook with emptiness. You see, if they praise also, you won't boost your ego. when they criticize your cooking also, you don't get upset, you know. You will feel so meaningful, you know, at least I did my best. And those who enjoy, well done. Those who didn't enjoy, I'm so sorry. And I will do better next, like that, you know. So you see, so anyway, yes, like that. So this is what he means. Contemplate the quality of leisure and opportunity and take this essence. Since mind training is a supreme Dharma practice, you should engage in this. So this is meaning that, you know, I have all the opportunity and freedom. So therefore, mind training is the supreme Dharma. Then I should practice this. You know, I should use all the opportunity and freedom to actualize the mind training practice. Okay. So even if you obtain a human existence of leisure and opportunity, or here it says, even if you obtain a human existence of leisure and opportunity, you cannot remain permanently. And when the force of your karma is exhausted, there's no telling when you might die. So that's the second decision. So at that time of death, there's no worse defeat than dying with remorse. If we die with full of negative emotion, full, you know, knowing that you haven't purified the negativities, and dying that knowing that you haven't accumulated all the causes, conditions for better rebirth, that would be the disaster, isn't it? So if you are alive, if you live a life with the lojong practice, this will not happen when the death comes. You know, you will die with full of confidence. So therefore, yeah. So there's no worse defeat than dying with the remorse and bereaved of any dharma realization. You know, wow. You see. So therefore, train your mind. So therefore, train your mind. You know, develop to altruism. You know, so now, third, after death, you do not stop becoming. After death, you do not stop becoming. So therefore, you must take rebirth. You see, you must take rebirth. So that's the fact. Wherever you may be reborn in silent existence will be subject to suffering. Even you be born in a God realm, it's still suffering. Even you be reborn as a human being, it's still suffering. You should therefore relinquish silent existence. And to this end, that you should practice mind training. So in order to, you know, even you overcome three lower realm, but if you happen to reborn as a human again, if you reborn in a higher rebirth like God, in demigod's realm again, it's still not helpful. It's still in the nature of suffering. So you need to overcome entire existence of the sixth realm. The way to do that, the best antidote is training your mind. Purifying your mental continuum of negative karma and obscuration you have accumulated. So mind training practice, when you engage in mind training practice, if you train in bodhicitta, if you meditate on loving kindness, compassion, if you meditate in sublime and emptiness, what will happen? It helps to purify our negativities, negativities. And towards others, cultivate loving kindness, compassion, awakening mind. By cultivating loving kindness, compassion, then you accumulate merit. That is the cause for future lifetimes to enjoy, happiness after happiness. Okay, thank you. So then after lunch, we discuss through the main practice. So discipline. Thank you. So we make the light lunch offering. Yeah. Omo ahong, omo ahong, omo ahong, lama sangye lama che, deshin lama kendun de, kunje chebo lama, lama namla che bai. Thank you.